Welcome to the Film Debris Podcast. My name is Robert Temple. Today we'll be talking about some movies here and there. This week's releases are The Purge and Sex Tape. Today I got with me here Deanthony Graves.
What's up, what's up?
And my wife and great confidant, Dina.
Hi!
And like I said, we'll be talking about The Purge and the Sex Tape movies. Great week for releases of movies. Well, you have a wide range of movies this week. You know, we got the horror, the comedy, some kids movies, some different things. But first, we're going to be kicking it off with some trailers.
I still like As Above, So Below.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer is really creepy, but it's interesting. But I know once I watch it, I'm going to hate myself for at least a week or two. But I want to see it.
For having nightmares, or
yeah, I'm tough in front of you guys, but I'm a huge coward by myself. Like, I will sleep with the lights on comfortably.
It looks creepy.
It was.
That's the one where they go under Paris.
Under Paris and the tunnels or the
catacombs.
The catacombs. There you go. Education, man. She had that, and
man, that 7th grade education.
In the trailer, it was really interesting, and I want to see the movie.
That's the one where everyone like freaks out and starts having remembering things in their past,
in their childhood or whatever they did wrong, and it comes back to
they all
bite
have
them.
these huge things that they did.
Everyone has that one moment,
yeah,
where you knew that was wrong. It's like, oh shit.
One of the movies I'm kind of interested in is the No Good Deed, the one with Idris Elba.
Oh.
And Taraji P. Henson.
That
looks good. Yeah.
That was an interesting movie. Idris Elba, I like him as an actor. I like the way he dresses as a human. I would base my life after him.
Yeah, he's a good human.
I followed him on Instagram just just for that reason.
For style tips.
Yeah, honestly.
I like that it's a kind of a different role for both of those actors.
Honestly,
I like it. Kind of reminds me of, once again, our good friend Mark Wahlberg comes up. What was that movie where he was a stalker?
Fear.
Yeah, right.
That was a good one. Was that?
Actually, I never saw that. I only saw the trailer. So the trailer reminds me of that trailer.
Reese Witherspoon. That was a good one. I like this trailer because it's going well, there's a constant theme through the trailer, but the way that they're approaching it's got like 2 different angles, and it's like, what? Mm-hmm. It was really good. It was really interesting. If I were to judge the movie off of the trailer, I would say it would be something I'm excited to see. Yeah.
I'd say it's definitely interesting for me. they're not all interesting. When you see a trailer like Ouija, I always think, so these young people have this Ouija board, and they're asking spirits these questions. How did they get that idea?
I don't know. And I would never believe it, because even in the trailer, it's just like in the movies, they're always blaming, hey, you're pushing it. No, yeah. I'm not. Stop pushing it.
Every show, every movie,
every time, you would never believe the Ouija.
For the game.
I hate the way Ouija is spelled. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, letters aren't supposed to do that.
No.
Well, I guess oui, that's French, right? O-U-I, oui.
G, but then J-A. Yeah, I don't get that.
Should be Ouija.
But they have the actress in there that was also in, she was in Signal, right? Signal and The Quiet Ones.
Horror movie, yeah.
The Quiet Ones. I'm watching her as an actress. I want to see if she blossoms into that great actress that we're going to know for years to come, or is she going to fade away?
Well,
slowly but
it's
surely.
Hard to judge acting talent in horror movies sometimes, I think.
Especially one like Ouija.
I know that you're looking forward to the Kingsman. The Secret Service with Colin Firth.
I'm excited to see that. When I saw that the first time, I can't even remember what movie it was in, but when I saw it, I was like instantly like, oh wow, I want to see that movie. He's a troubled youth who gets saved by an older gentleman who's like killing and is debonair, and he teaches him how to be a gentleman, but a gentleman with a secret.
He's finally learned how to speak the king's speech from all that stuttering, and now he's wanting to teach the kid how to...
Yeah, he's like, I used to be troubled just like you.
Well, it looks fun. It has Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah.
But Samuel L. Jackson, I don't know, in that role, he kind of looked weird. He was odd. He had the New York hat, but he was speaking real funny, and I just wasn't biting. Yeah, normally I'd just go because he's in it. I just know my ears are gonna hurt from all the yelling. But with that one, I was just more interested in the movie. He didn't stand out to me, at least not from the trailer.
Well, I noticed in the last 8 or 10 years, what they're doing with Sam Jackson is they're not giving him new characters; they're just giving him a new wardrobe every movie. So they give him a different look.
And they didn't even show him that much in this trailer. They kind of like downplayed him.
Yeah, well,
it's just enough, just a little touch of,
just to let you know he's in there.
Yeah, once you know he's there, you know what you're getting.
Right.
I don't know if that's good or bad though.
I know you liked the first Sin City. You excited for this new one? I mean, it's still Frank Miller.
I am. That was the first time I saw the trailer of that one, and it was
a new trailer.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Like I heard of it, I heard talks, and I'd seen the poster, but I had never seen the trailer. And the trailer, it was Sin City. Like I think they're gonna be right on track with what they did in the first movie. They're probably gonna kick it up a notch, but I think I'm gonna get exactly what I expected.
Yeah, it seems like it's on track. You got Frank Miller, of course, and you got Robert Rodriguez coming back. Mickey Rourke is still
most of the cast.
Through line. Yeah,
except Brittany Murphy.
No Brittany Murphy, no Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
You know, what you gonna do? I think they replaced him pretty well with Dennis Haysbert. I think he's good.
Yeah.
It seems like, just from the trailer, like they use more color.
I
don't know about color, but I feel like there's more of the characters that are colorized or something.
Yeah, the separation, it's not completely in black and white. Not that the first one was, but this one, it seems like we're going to see a little bit more color than we did in the first one.
No, it'll be interesting to see how they use it.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with it. I think I'm going to like it, but I would watch it anyway. One
thing I like about it is, when was the first one? Like 2005? Something like that?
6.
So it's clearly like they weren't trying to cash in on it and just make another one right away, you know?
Yeah.
So it seems like
they put time into this one.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they were just, let's start writing the next one or whatever. It looks like we have a good enough kernel here. It's a good time for it now. So
take that story, kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
The interview, I'm looking forward to that one. Seth Rogen, James Franco.
Well, it's weird because they churn out movies pretty consistently, and they're on a pretty good consistent level as far as humor, you know.
Yeah.
None of them are terrible, but
I don't see them getting any funnier. I mean, they're not true. They're not bad.
It could be we could be wearing that novelty of them could be wearing off on us.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little over the Seth Rogen type jokes, you know.
It seems like with This Is the End, you know, once you see such realness from them,
yeah,
they have to. It's almost like they have to be that from now on. I mean, I guess they always were themselves in front of the camera in a way.
Yeah.
What about it are you looking forward to, Dina?
Well, I'm sure there are going to be laughs. I don't feel like I can't wait. I mean, I could wait. I'm just looking forward to the laughs that I'm sure it'll bring.
Yeah, I'm sure at least 5 or 6 laughs worth are going to be in there.
But no more than 7.
I'm just saying, like, you know, after a funny movie like The 40-Year-Old Virgin, it was just so hard for me to, like, really just laugh in a movie. It really is. Anything else, like, after that, it was like, yeah, it's funny. Of course it's funny. These are funny people. Funny People was a bad movie, though. That was another movie that had a bunch of comedians in it, and I wasn't really laughing. Not like you would think.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts.
Well, I mean, you know, that's Adam Sandler.
Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
Yeah, the same people.
And that's why Even though it wasn't one of the trailers we saw. Let's Be Cops is interesting because it's like a new group of people in front of the camera.
That new generation.
Yeah.
A breath of fresh air. Like, give us just at least a good few months of not seeing Seth Rogen and his
James
man
Franco
fat. No, James Franco, I like that guy. I like him. I like that. Him and his brother.
Well, I like to see Franco in different types of roles.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see him in 127 Hours, and then you'll see him in Pineapple Express or whatever, then you'll see him in The Great and Powerful Oz, and now you're going to see him in This Is the End. And so I like that he does some different things. Any final thoughts on the trailers there?
No.
Nope. Moving on.
Alright, so those are the trailers. When we come back, we're going to get right on to Sex Tape. And let's see what we have to say about that right here on the Film Debris podcast.
So instead of erasing the video like you said that you would,
You accidentally sent it to all our friends and family?
I'm the mailman.
if the mailman has seen my vagina,
We're moving. What if it gets out on the internet?
we have to get that back right now.
I was using that.
It went up! It went up to the cloud!
You can't get it down from the cloud?
Nobody understands the cloud. It's a mystery!
Sex Tape, starring Jason Segel, Cameron Diaz, Rob Corddry, Ellie Kemper, directed by Jake Kasdan, right?
Jake Kasdan, yeah.
Jake Kasdan.
Jake. My man Jake.
So in Sex Tape, a couple makes a sex tape and then their video auto syncs overnight, and it syncs to all their other iPads that were linked to their home LAN,
Yeah.
their home computer, because he has a bunch of iPads and he gives them away to his friends when he's done using them.
Awesome gifts. I need to find someone like that to just give me an
Right.
iPad.
And a sex tape.
Well,
And a hot plate.
my biggest thought about this movie is the title should have been Sex Tape or Lack Thereof, because it was just a whack sex tape. The little bit that we saw, we definitely could have did without, Jason, right? What's his name?
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel. I'm a little tired of seeing him. That guy is, trust me, I don't go around looking at guys' bodies, but his is definitely one I could not see and be happy. You see a lot of him in his movies. He's very confident. I give him that.
He's committed to being a comedian,
I guess so. I mean, it's make me laugh, but don't make me be like, dang, son, that was bad. That was all bad. He could go for a gym membership and maybe a wax.
Well, I mean, it's kind of something that's always been. It's like the attractive woman and then kind of the goofy guy.
Yeah.
And that's in a lot of TV shows, and that's just kind of I don't know, I mean, if you're a comedian, say you're Tim Allen, and you want to be, you're not a comedian because you're a great looking guy. I don't know.
But what was looking good in this movie, Cameron Diaz. She looked really good in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen 2 Cameron Diaz movies now this year, I
Really?
think. And, I was thinking about it. I can't remember seeing a Cameron Diaz movie in a theater for a long time.
Yeah, well, not for a long time, but you've seen a lot of Cameron Diaz movies, and I think she looks awesome for however old she is. Mm-hmm. She's aging well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, she looked pretty good here, but you could see, how much
in her eyes,
how much computer was covering both of them. Like, because earlier in the movie it's showing when they were younger and their younger days, and it's not a knock against the film, but you can, of course they're going to use some kind of effects.
Yeah.
To clear up everything.
Get them Instagram effects, boy. They was putting them to use. Okay, so the situation in which you already said is the sex tape. They make a movie. They're trying to spark that, reignite that flame in their marriage or whatever, and he accidentally uploads the sex tape to the cloud. Now that's a situation that could probably happen to anyone. I believe it. I understand it. But the series in which they go about getting it back, it was okay. Obviously, the movie's for entertainment, but I was just like, yeah, this is silly. No one's really gonna do that.
Yeah, and this guy, he collects music. He had something to do with music in his life. That's his career, right? He's
like a radio DJ or something. What is he? They were in the
producer,
station.
maybe because he wasn't on the mic. He was kind of behind the scenes. Maybe he's a producer.
I remember them saying he went to concerts 3 nights in a row.
Yeah,
to do something.
He does something in music. I don't think they really specify exactly what he does.
Yeah.
Or was I dozing off?
You could have been dozing off, but it just seems like he gets iPads as part of his job almost.
Almost, because he's getting too many. I did think that while watching the movie, it's like, dang, is he buying all of these? He's like getting 2 at a time and then just giving them out.
Yeah. So he collects them, he connects them to his computer, and then he gives them out to his friends when he's done with them because they fill up. I don't know.
No, they like his playlist. His playlists are something to die for, I guess, and everyone wants a piece of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too far into the technology because I don't have an iPad. I don't exactly know how that works, but it seems like Apple wouldn't want you to have free copies of music going around. Don't you have like a limit of 5 machines you can put it on or something?
Yeah, I think you can you can sync like a total of 5 different devices together. But even with that being said, I mean, why didn't he just delete the sex tape off of his computer
and then resync?
Yeah, and then you would think it would do the same thing for all of them. They would just take off what was deleted since it's just syncing up anyway. And if it was doing a playlist, he only had 4 things on the playlist.
The 4 videos.
the videos. So he wasn't so worried about them having all the other videos he had.
Yeah, what were those other?
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, the big part of the joke of the movie is that the 2 main characters are not tech savvy, so they're going around with hammers.
Which is why he's giving out iPads.
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting to. Is like he's not tech savvy, but he has all these iPads and these computers, and
he's a Mac
he knows how to do things.
Yeah, I didn't think that would have been out of his league. You know, of course he might have known he might not have known every little bit of detail, but he knew enough to sync and
I mean,
the cloud and
like I said, I don't even own one of those, and I know that you can just there's certain things you can do. But then it comes to the point where he's being blackmailed and
by a goofy looking child too.
It's just weird that, you know, it's a comedy, and the kind of thing always happens in every comedy and show and everything, where instead of going straight to the source and going straight to the problem, they kind of like circumvent it and go around.
Yeah, they go to every different avenue.
Yeah. So instead of right at that moment, soon as he tells him, telling the parents or telling whoever right at that moment, they make the decision where he has to do something kind of silly or whatever.
I just thought if he would have just took a minute and stepped back, it's like, okay, well, let me just delete and resync, or even that, you know, like not. They wasted a lot of time.
Yeah,
really,
they did waste a lot of time.
And chasing nothing. But I mean, some of the situations they got themselves into was funny. There were some funny moments in this movie. The intro, like their whole relationship based solely on sex. Okay, I get it. You met in college. Those are the great years, I guess.
The first 6 months are always
is what they say. But after 2 children, it changed dramatically.
Yeah. And even like when they kind of get to the end of the movie and they're talking to each other and they're, you know, trying to figure out what happened in their lives, I started to realize that I think the whole reason that they have these problems is because it's the very thing they show in the beginning, and the very reason why they go through all these problems in the middle of the movie without directly going to the source, like I said, is because these people are shallow.
Yeah.
What they had in common when they met was sex. what their whole problem now is, why don't we have sex? And then when they talk at the end, if they talk to each other and say, oh, now I remember why I have sex with you. Because I love having sex with you. It's like, that's their whole thing they have. Now they have sex and they have kids. That's what they have in common.
Yeah, sex and
Neither
kids.
of them know how to work an iPad. They have sex and they have kids. Those are 3.
But this movie isn't a total waste. Like I said, there were some funny moments in this movie. It's humorous. It's entertaining. I just feel like the situations they were going through was like the idiot way of dealing with it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they never, not once, just went to his computer and deleted it. Like, at all. They'd rather go to every which avenue that this could have extended and deal with it there.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of it being a comedy. You know, you have to have your characters go on these wild adventures and be stupid, pretty much. But, you know, there are comedies that have logic to them also. So if you're going to make the excuse of, oh, well, it's just that, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, but there's some movies that actually have logic. So it's not fair to just say, well...
Yeah, well, if you've seen the trailer and you have certain expectations when you see a trailer, this is one of those movies where you'll get exactly what you expect.
I was actually excited that some of the parts that we saw in the trailer weren't in the movie. Like, they didn't show how the file was uploaded to the cloud. Like, I like that.
Yeah, they didn't show the close-up on the bar.
Yeah, they changed a few things around.
Yeah, I like it when they do that in a lot of movies now.
That way, sometimes the movie is a surprise, or the situation, it's a little different than what you remember, so it feels fresh, and it's not like exactly what you saw in the trailer.
Yeah, because the night that they record it, it just cuts to the next scene.
Yeah.
It doesn't show it happening.
Yeah.
And he gets the text. And there was actually, I thought there was a few funny things in it, but most of it relies on people having awkward conversations with each other. There's scenes where he's in the trailer, you know, it's in the trailer where he's searching around a house and there's a dog chasing him. And I kind of felt like that whole thing was just kind of...
It's adding to the adventure.
Yes, it's adding to the adventure and adding nothing else, I think. Maybe you guys got a few laughs out of it. I didn't. I laughed when I went, oh, this is the part with the dog. And I don't think I actually laughed with any of the parts.
I thought there was some points in that scene dealing with the dog that could have certainly been the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if I were really in his situation and this scene is in the trailer and the dog was knocked out having like ran across the treadmill or whatever, I would have just used that as my moment to leave.
Yeah,
I wouldn't try to resuscitate the dog. Whatever, the dog's trying to kill me, that dog can die happily for all I care. You know, I would be cool. I would have just went out and locked the door. No, that was just moments wasted in getting the video that I needed. You know, the whole point and why he was there.
Yeah, and like it's funny because they even undercut them being there at that house by having the other couple come to the front door and say, hey, can I have your iPad? Oh yeah, here's the iPad, and they walk away. It's like, then they walk outside, oh, we did that for nothing? Not only did they do that for nothing, but the movie had that whole sequence really for nothing, because I don't even think Rob Lowe's character comes back after that.
No. No, you don't
And
see anything else about it.
Did she end up selling her website? Was that brought up again?
It wasn't important. So
I think it was. I think it was, but they didn't specify like what she got from it. I think it was official that, you know, they were buying it. They just didn't talk as far as, you know, the deal or the number amount.
So once again, they're stupid, they're shallow, and they go up there, and we don't even hear about what happens to their lives personally.
Like how we did before the tape.
And they're not good people because they bring their kids to a porn place to break into a building
Spoiler
with their kids.
I don't know, man. That movie had a lot of moments where I was just like, wow, this is weird. This is weird. But I enjoyed seeing Cameron Diaz. I think she kept it consistent. She did her thing.
Yeah.
Way to go, Cameron.
Jason was good too.
He was alright. He was the same as in all of his other movies, like Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I don't think I saw that. Last time I saw him was Muppets movie.
Him and Cameron are pretty consistent.
They are actually.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty good in this. I don't like I said, she was in the other woman earlier this year.
Yeah.
And Cameron Diaz, I think, has a top billing in that, but that's Leslie Mann's movie.
Right.
I just wanted to say that.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
But yeah, she was funny in this, and Jason Segel, you know, maybe we have a woman's opinion on this guy, as far as he has like these. He's not Canadian, right? He has these beady eyes, shark eyes.
I couldn't tell you as far as where he comes from.
That's racist, sir.
I think I enjoyed him in this movie, but his performance was still forgettable compared to Cameron Diaz. I think whatever he contributed to the movie, it helped the movie go along, but if it wasn't in there, if it was a different actor, it could have affected it. I don't think he saved the movie. I don't think he really, his performance wasn't like top notch.
Well, just like he says in the movie, when you're watching porn, you see the girl and you don't even, the guy's just invisible to you.
And he was proof of that.
So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to move on to The Purge, right here on the Film Debris podcast.
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge. At the siren, all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 hours. All emergency services will be suspended. Your government thanks you for your participation.
What is this?
Welcome back, everybody. You're here with Robert Temple, Deanthony Graves.
What's up?
And Dina.
Hi.
And we're going to move on to The Purge 2, Anarchy.
I like that. The enthusiasm in that was...
Written and directed by James DeMonico. I think he did the first Purge.
The first Purge.
He wrote some movies like Negotiator, which I actually liked. And he wrote another pretty... Oh, I think he wrote the remake of Assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah.
So now we got The Purge. I'll say right off the bat, I didn't see the Purge movie. What did you think of the first Purge, Steve?
I thought, just like I think about this movie, I think the idea is awesome. I was like, wow, they're making a movie about that, like where these people are just 12 hours, that everything is just legal, you can just kill people and stuff like that. I thought that
was legal for 12 hours.
Yeah, I thought that was a great, catch line. I thought that was a great idea for a movie. I did get really, really irritated by the main family from the first movie. Ethan Hawke's family. And I got tired of his wife, I got tired of his kids, and even him. But I think in that family, he was the only one who had sense of what was going on and what was at stake. And they couldn't seem to understand it, and it irritated me. If you haven't seen the movie The Purge 2, I would say watch the first one. It would give you a good contrast between the movies, because this one was totally different, but I think this one was better than the first one.
All right. From what I've heard, like the first Purge deals with like the upper class or the rich family, a rich family or something like that.
Yeah.
And now in this one, you're dealing with more of the poor neighborhood.
Yeah.
The projects, as someone says in the movie.
Yeah. The first movie dealt only with the family, and with this second movie, we're getting a different cast. Obviously, a whole different cast, but we're dealing with different characters too. There's different stories as far as what's going on in the movie and how this group of people got to where they are, and what they're doing to deal with it.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like that in this movie, because in the first movie, just dealing with the one family, it was kind of, you know, it was draining me out through the movie, because the family annoyed me so much, you know, and that was all that we had to deal with, and it was kind of overwhelming. Like,
do you know if that's kind of the consensus, like, or a lot of people didn't like the family?
From the people I had talked to about the movie, they did find the same children to be, you know, annoying, or the same situations to be annoying or a little irritating. And I have a character, like, is these character flaws that just I see in almost everyone. It irritates me so much, because it's so consistent throughout the movies.
Are you talking about the movies still, or are you talking about real life too?
I'm talking about the movie. I'm talking about the movie. Every time there's a character, like in the first one with Ethan Hawke's wife, right? Every time she had the gun, the first thing she would do would drop the gun. That's like the main item that's going to save everyone's life, and she can't keep it in her hands, or, you know, she's spending more time whining than changing the situation. And when I started seeing that in the second movie, I was kind of getting back to like, oh my god, please don't do this the whole movie.
Well, so what I think is good is, like I said, I haven't seen the first one, but I do feel like just seeing the second one, I didn't feel confused or anything like that. I felt like I could, you know, I can understand what was going on for the most part. It didn't seem like there was any connection to the first movie of like characters or anything like that.
No, from this movie, it was like a complete standalone movie. Only the situation of the Purge was the common thing.
So, you know, like, and in the Purge 2, there are rich families who still exist in this world. They still touch on it a little bit, what they're doing at the time. And like you said, you know, the characters doing things like having a gun and dropping it, and characters in this movie generally being dumb, is kind of a staple in horror movies.
Yeah.
They walk when they should be running, or they run when they should be crawling, or
they speak loudly when they should be hiding.
Oh.
They're screaming and yelling when they should be.
Oh my goodness. That is another thing. It's like, we all know there are people trying to find us. Why are you yelling at me right now? Don't shoot your gun. They can hear you.
Yeah. So there's a scene in the movie. Okay, let's set it up a little bit more. So there's a woman who works at this diner, and they can see on the news, and everyone in the city sees on the news, in the country, I guess, you know, the Purge is starting in 2 hours, stay safe. That seems to be those.
That's their staple.
Was
right?
that the big thing in the first one too, stay safe?
I don't recall. I don't recall if that's what they said. I think so.
But everyone says stay safe, so she goes home to get to her daughter, which I didn't know for the first half hour that it was supposed to be her daughter.
I thought they were sisters, like she was the older sister or something.
So she goes home, and I noticed, like, you know, one of the first things in the movie on screen is giving you a rundown of the Purge has been around. The new founding fathers started this thing, and crime is almost gone.
The unemployment rate is like below 5%.
Yeah, below 5%, and there's almost no crime rate except for the Purge. And I noticed, like, when she was walking home, she was assaulted 3 times within the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. By 3 different people in 3 different ways, I would say. You know, because there's a wide rainbow of ways to assault someone. They call it the coalition of assault.
Right.
But it seems like the idea of the Purge, although is enticing to murder and torture people, and by the way, any crime is supposed to be illegal, except
for Category 4 and higher.
Category
like
4.
You can't use certain weapons.
Yeah, so you have to pull out your reference card. Let's see what.
Always know what explosion is capable of being above Class 4 or under, or whatever.
Yeah, so you can stand in the street and start shooting an automatic weapon, but if you accidentally throw a grenade, then everybody's in the street's gonna stop and stare at you and go, "Oh man."
Yeah, I like how it was alerting. It was alerting them that was like you're using over a class 4 is unauthorized or whatever.
The demolition man voice comes out. And,
Exactly, but it's like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Because all of the police, all of the paramedics, and all them, they're like off duty for that whole time. You know, all of the emergency broadcast is going to be deactivated. Like, you're in the dark. So why tell me what's not allowed? What are you going to get me after the purge? Because then wouldn't that defeat the whole purpose?
Well, so there must be cameras everywhere.
Obviously.
And they showed some cameras because how are they gonna keep track and
yeah, what are they gonna do about it though? It's like during the purge, you can't get me for a crime I committed during the purge. It's like a whole different. It's like I should have immunity, man. That was during the purge.
Well, they do have the traffic cameras that they use, but if you're inside a building, if you're inside a home that's locked down, yeah, they didn't really touch on how they can keep track of that.
I mean, I guess you'd have to, hey man, this guy blew me up with a flamethrower.
Got people dry snitching.
That wasn't cool.
But there was the character that was the daughter. I found myself getting very tired of her character, like.
Because she was the voice of reason?
No, not even the voice of reason, but okay, they approach a guy who they already believe is going to be their savior, the one to help get them out of the shit, if you will. But everything he does, she questions it. I've been like, look, you can sit here and you can die, or you can come with me and shut up. Like,
and he says that too.
He does. He really does. And then she follows that with another question or another debate about what they're doing or how he should not be doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever I'm doing is keeping you alive, so why don't you just let me do what I do?
It's like if one of the bad guys or normal guys who are having a bad day like grabs her, puts a gun to her head, and then the guy who's protecting her, sergeant guy, shoots the bad guy, and then she's like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, like, the nerve of you for killing that man. He was only doing his purge. That was his right. I can't stand those characters that are like, they play so weak and so just annoying. Like, everything, you would think this situation would have everyone like, okay, how about we not ask him stupid questions?
Yeah. They said it's like been the 12th year of the purge, I think.
Yeah, you lasted through this for 12 years. And okay, this one happened to get a little bit rougher than what you're used to. So why would you cloud the guy's judgment who's there to save you by wasting his time? I mean, these are questions he's got to stop and think about.
Yeah, he's not even there to save you. You just happened to be there and he saved you.
And then you kind of forced him to take you along. He was blackmailed. I felt bad for him. I really just felt bad for the guy. He didn't need that.
Yeah, because he's on his way to do something.
Yeah, he had a purpose. His ex-wife couldn't even talk him out of it, but then this chick has the nerve to question him about everything he does. He should have iced her off.
He's been planning this for a year.
A whole year.
The day of the purge, someone's going to say, hey,
maybe you should think about this.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Right? The nerve. I couldn't believe how every turn they made, she had another question or another reason why they shouldn't be doing what they were doing. I would have shot her in her knee and left her.
And speaking of the nerve, there's like the scene where he has the car and he saves them, they get into the car, they drive off, it breaks down because it got shot, and he said, okay, you guys are on your own, I got stuff I gotta do. And they say, what, you save us only just to leave us here?
I saved you. I saved you. You know where to go, right? You already have your destination planned out. You know where you need to go. You know where the person lives and she's going to help you. Just go there. Come on, man. You're slowing me down.
I extended your life for an hour.
That's the most. I did you a solid. I did you. You give an inch and they want a mile. I swear. I swear.
You know, he stood there with his Punisher jacket and his machine gun in his hand, and he said, when I saved you, there was 2 sets of footprints, but now
We keep picking up people every time we pass by somebody. You're trying to help somebody, and then the I do feel for the couple who were going through their situation, and the way they got stranded was a little messed up, you know.
But see, once again, you have a whole year to know when the purge is happening.
Oh yeah, I would have been done. Like I would have requested those 2 days off.
Yeah,
the purge and the day before. Like I would have already been locked up and just chilling. They always got to the minute. Like the purge is gonna start in T-1 minute. It's like, oh man, let's run to the bank real quick. Why? What are you gonna buy? Everything's closed.
Oh, I can't survive with a gallon of milk for 12 hours.
It's bad. You didn't get bacon, you know. They find whatever reason.
The purge isn't over until 7 a.m. I have to have my breakfast at 6.
Oh man, it's like whatever reason they had to be outside. They used it. Like for whatever reason they had to go outside. They made sure that happened. Like
yeah,
they couldn't have just waited.
It's hard to feel sorry. I mean, like they left themselves outside. The mother and daughter, their home was broken into.
I get that.
You know?
I get that. But that they should have just known that guy was gonna come after them though.
Well, I mean, even whether or not the guy from Bruce Almighty was going to come into their house, I think they were already targeted by
the Gov.
Yeah, the guy in the hat, the American hat, and so speaking of America, so the movie is so what's the word? Saturated in satire of God and country. And I don't want to get too far into politics or religion, but it's such a overstatement of them showing guns and God. Because they said the new founding fathers, you know, made this new rule for the purge for all of us to cleanse ourselves because we all have violent tendencies, I guess.
Yeah.
So they use terms like "this is my right."
Yeah.
It is my right to purge and kill you. How dare you fight me on that? Yeah. Just lay there and let me do what I need to do.
It's my right, not your right.
Seriously, if I were purging and someone wouldn't give it to me the way I wanted it, like I would be okay. Now you're ruining it for both of us. Okay, this could be a great experience for you. I have a lot planned. If you go with the plan, it would be enjoyable for the both of us. You might learn something.
I have a full night of murder and rape and robberies planned, and you're messing this up for me. I only have 8 hours left.
Seriously, you're screwing up my schedule. 364 days is what I put into this, and you got the nerve to set me off an hour. You know how much you can do in an hour when you're purging?
So, yeah, I pretty much was comparing this to Grand Theft Auto Online, if you ever played that, where just characters outside, all the weapons they have, all the cars, they just run into each other, kill each other, do whatever. But, like, you know, those are video game characters, and maybe that's supposed to be, I mean, I wasn't thinking of it as a comment on video game culture, more of a comment on American culture with
violence.
But even that, it's supposed to be a joke, I think, because you can't honestly think that people would do that. And if we're in a society where people do want to go out and have 12 hours of free killing time, which, by the way, the movie says that crime is legal, but they emphasize the murder part. And they say crime is legal, including murder. So it's supposed to be a way to filter out people, which is a little reminiscent of Snowpiercer that I saw recently too, except it's on a smaller scale. It has a kind of a low budget movie feel with an interesting idea with a pretty good budget look.
Very much like Sex Tape.
One thing that did bug me though is that the story of the couple whose car breaks down and they're stranded, you don't really get to see the end what happens after with the couple. I mean, they have these issues, and then the woman gets taken into by this group, and
by the
you
rebellion.
don't really see the results of everything. They spend so much time building these characters and making you care about them, and then they just kind of leave you there. They kind of like, okay, forget about this. We're going with this other family that we also talked about earlier in the film.
That's true. Like, they were all like, oh, we'll take care of her, but when they're showing all of the rebels, we'll call them the rebels, shooting the rich people, I don't see her. Yeah, like, I don't see, you see the two guys that are supposed to like take care of her, but I don't see her, so I think they left her back by the bricks, and she's still like
well, what do they mean by take care of her?
Oh, I mean, I don't think they killed her. She's one of them now. Like, the way they said we'll take care of her was more nurturing. Like, we'll make sure she's okay, and she'll get her revenge. She'll be able to cleanse her soul through the purge, and blah, blah, blah.
But aren't they against that? The purge?
Right.
No, I think they're against. I think they're against the rich people being able to purge against the broke.
I can understand that.
The poor, and it's not on equal scales. I think
so. They're not against the purge.
They're pro-purge. They're just not into the selling poor people to the rich people.
That's what I got from it. I got the way that they were doing purges. It was like, they were just ganging up on a small group of people and just kind of wiping them out. Like, everything was in favor of the upper class.
Yeah.
Like
because they could purchase people and stay safe in their house.
Exactly. They weren't a part of the purge, but they were a part of the purge. It sounds weird, of course, but they weren't out doing it like the poor people. Their lives were never in danger, but they had everyone going out getting the people that they wanted to purge or whatever. Yeah,
but like the Mr. America guy who's traveling around in the truck says, like, kind of, at least in his eyes, the whole point of the purge is to lower the population so they kill off poor people. So in a way, like, for the rich people, that's what they do, is they buy poor people to kill. One at a time isn't very...
But if they're killing off all the poor people, and there's going to be nothing but rich people, and then lesser rich people, the lesser rich people of the rich people will be poor. So eventually taxes are going to go up because less people are paying taxes.
They did also mention that people weren't really killing each other as much as they wanted.
Yeah.
Which is why they needed an extra hand. They
had to help the country purge because they weren't taking advantage of the opportunity of taking another person's life. Enough souls weren't being cleansed through murder and bloodshed.
Because they do, I mean, even though, in the trailers and everything, you'll see the criminals and then the kind of innocent people trying to get away from them. There's a lot of people who are just hiding in their houses who aren't really taking part of it, or maybe just not taking part this year.
Just auctioning the people off.
I mean, there's a bunch of homes and apartments and whatever where just people are just hiding. It seems like what you guys are saying about the girl who was going to be taken care of by the rebel force.
Yeah.
It seems like that might be where they'll pick up maybe in a third movie. That's like, it'll be her in that group.
Maybe
against
the rebels. They get bigger because this was the first time that they fought back, right?
But there's nothing like that in the first movie.
No, not at all. Everyone was just for the purge, and it was dealing with that America's most annoying family.
So, the purge, good, bad?
I think this purge, I would say it was decent. It was a decent movie. I enjoyed it because it most definitely was better than the first movie. I can't say I have too many complaints about it other than, the character flaws that annoy me so much. Yeah. But what are you going to do? I kind of just accept it and keep it going. It didn't take away from the movie too much to where I would say don't watch it or that I hated it. But it was a decently enjoyable movie.
So The Purge, dumb characters, part of a horror staple though. Dina, Purge, good movie. Purge 2? Dina?
I think it was okay. I don't think it was great or good, but it was okay. It was ambitious in what it was trying to do. And you kind of just, when you watch it, accept it. You kind of see what they want to do and kind of just follow along. But it didn't really deliver what you were hoping it would. So I'm not going to say it was good, but it was okay, and it was still, bits of it was still enjoyable.
Yeah, I'll say that was pretty blatant in what the message was trying to be, and then it seems like a high-budget cult movie with some bad digital squibs, bad blood effects. So we're gonna wrap up, but we're gonna take a break, and then we'll come right back, and we'll kind of wrap up the whole thing. You're listening to the Film Debris Podcast.
As long as we move, we'll be fine. We're gonna cross banks.
No, that's a long way. It's gonna be much quicker if we go down here. I'm stuck! Get off of me! I'm stuck!
It's a trap! We don't have time! Move away! I gotta shoot it! Move away!
What? You're gonna what?
I'm gonna shoot it! Move!
What? Okay.
Shoot it! Shoot the cable!
Alright, so we're back to the Film Debris Podcast. We're gonna wrap it up right now. Oh, today we talked about the Purge and the sex tape movies. Things kind of fell apart in the recording here. There's a helicopter flying right above us because we're dealing crack. Speaking of crack, so what do you think of Sex Tape? Final thoughts on Sex Tape. Would you recommend this? Compare it to some other movies, comedies that came out this year, maybe. What do you think of Sex Tape, D?
I think Sex Tape was an entertaining movie. It had some funny moments in it, but kind of what you would expect from a comedy. Cameron Diaz, I liked her in this. She really played her part. Jason Segel, he did okay. I quickly forgot about him, but he made a comment in the movie why that would happen, and I agree with it. So, would I recommend the movie? Yeah, I would recommend it. It's great date movie to see. you know, you can go and have a good time. It's an enjoyable movie.
If you saw the trailer, if you liked the trailer, then you'll like the movie. If the trailer didn't grab you, you probably won't care about the movie. So you could probably just wait for it to come out, or not.
Well, I think I feel like there's another example of, I feel like I like the side characters more than the main characters. I thought Rob Corddry was really funny. I thought Ellie Kemper was really funny. I didn't think the Lincoln line is funny. I never really laughed at it in the trailer. But like you said, Cameron Diaz was pretty funny. Jason Segel he's funny for being who he is.
That's what you would expect.
I would say of all the comedies that came out this year, though, it's on the lower half of things like Neighbors or 22 Jump Street. Purge 2, Anarchy. Any final thoughts on that one, Deanthony?
I thought The Purge 2 was a definite upgrade from the Purge that had came out with Ethan Hawke, and I think this movie it's worth seeing. It's worth seeing. It's got different storylines in it. It's got a twist to what the first one was building up to. They go a little bit more in depth in this movie, and I enjoyed it. I had a few issues with it, but you're gonna find that in any movie. But I definitely recommend this for anyone who wants to see a nice action movie.
I think, like you said, it is something that it's interesting. I don't know if I would say it's good, but I think it's interesting. I think it's something that people should maybe give a chance to see, because it has some interesting themes, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's a good movie in any sense. It has some niche things that if you're a fan of certain elements, horror things or things like that, small movies, I think it has some interesting things in it. But, you know, it's up to you. If you like that kind of thing, then I think you should definitely check it out. If you're not into horror or torture porn or just bad acting, then I don't think so. Dina?
Yeah, I agree. If you liked the first Purge or Assault on Precinct 13, yeah, you should definitely go see it. And if not, then maybe wait for it to come out. But it does have elements that people that like other genres would probably enjoy.
So I think that's pretty much all we got for you this week, this day of days. So if you're looking for more reviews and stuff, we have siteheist.com. We got some reviews and articles there. I write there plenty. Robert Temple. Deanthony has some things has going on over there. You can visit us on YouTube at Film Debris, youtube.com/filmdebris. We have our audio files there where we talk about movies all the time. There's some 3-to-C videos on there where we just talk about different topics of different movies we like. If you want to reach Deanthony,
you can find me on Twitter at yourboyconcepts, at YABOIKONCEPTS.
That's a mouthful.
It is.
And you can find Dina at...
I'm also on the tweets at Nova Rage. So that's at Nova_Rage.
And you can find Film Debris on Twitter at Film Debris. And there's a Facebook page, Siteheist, at Siteheist. You can find me, Robert Temple, at Masterside, MASTURCIDE. And you can find all kinds of other stuff around the world on other things just by searching them. But you can look us up on Google. And Deanthony, what movie are we on for your Concepts watch?
This is movie number 17. 17 out of 1,000. I'm hacking away at it slowly but surely.
It's climbing up.
It's like cutting a tree with a butter knife. Just.
That's great.
So, thank you for listening very much. We really appreciate it. If you listen to us, leave us some comments. Tell us what you think. Because it is interesting to hear what other people think. You leave us a comment, we might mention something about it on the next one. If there's a point we made wrong or something you disagree with, we can start a dialogue and we can start becoming a community and stuff like that. But we appreciate it very much. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, wow. I'm surprised we made it this far. But once again, thanks a lot. This is Robert Temple for Deanthony Graves and for Dina.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
He looks just like Will Wheaton. Look, in this one. Doesn't he look like Will Wheaton? He looks just like Will Wheaton.
I don't know the meaning of the
Star
word.
Trek.
Will Wheaton?